so happy to have you here for this look. Lots of different things going on here. First off, all drugstore makeup, nearly all drugstore brushes. I did have to pull in a couple eye brushes that I'm very comfortable with, but for the most part, I'm trying to kind of go out of my comfort zone with a few elements of this look. Just a few of the application methods, and on the eyes, what I'm trying to do is work in like wearable fall color. I used that great emerald green that I've been promising. I'm gonna have a green eye tutorial coming. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Golden Emerald shade. I love it so much, so we worked that into the look. I just wanted to put out a look that was all affordable products. It'd be a look that would be fun to throw together if you had a dance or a formal or something like that. And if you're well beyond school years, you know, this might be date night, this might be cocktail party, who knows. But I do really love it as a nice summer to fall transition look with the light lip and kind of bronzy skin. I think we're still holding on to a little bit of summer here, but I'm loving the deeper eye. Okay, so starting out, I have already applied my moisturizer and eye cream, so I'm going to use a little bit of primer. This one's kind of new to me. I'm comparing it in my mind to Benefit's Professional. It seems like similar claims and kind of similar consistency. So I'm going to dab this around and really focus it in around the nose and sides of the nose where I might see pores. And I'll go a little bit on the forehead as well, just kind of blend outward from the center of my face. Definitely mattifies right away. Next, I'm going to apply my Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. I wear this in the shade Soft Beige, and I would love to know if any of you have been with me like way back in the day, like in the apartment days when I was using this out of the squeeze tube and talking about how much I loved this foundation. I was soft beige then and I'm soft beige now, so I'm just going to kind of start patching this around my face. It's a nice coverage foundation, and it's just, I feel like a really good middle ground for various skin types. You know, I feel like someone with oily skin can get away with wearing this and setting it a little bit, but I could also see it working just fine on dry skin. In an effort to try a different blending method, I have dampened my Real Techniques sponge here, and I'm just gonna go with that, blending it in all over my face, just really pressing the foundation into my skin. Not that this is one of those foundations that needs a lot of help, like with looking natural or, you know, breaking it down somewhat so it looks good on the skin, but I'm just trying to do a few things that are a little bit outside my norm, you know, with this video. And I have been using my Beauty Blender on and off as well. I know I've had some questions about that since I purchased it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I really kind of like this one better. I really have kind of started to dig the flat side of this little thing. I'm going to do a little bit of concealing, and I'm using my Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda Concealer Palette. What's that phone? I'm just going to use this to brighten around the under eye area. This is the lightest color right now. Really getting into that, you know, deep cavern on either side of the nose. So just me, or does that keep getting deeper with age? Deeper and darker, that would be the answer. And I'm not going to do a lot of drastic contour and highlight with this video, so I am going to kind of use my concealer in certain places where I want, you know, that little bit of lift. And then I'm going to dab into this slightly deeper tone of concealer and kind of dab that right over the top. And keep in mind, this isn't a total blend yet, but I think that helps it blend once I bring in like a beauty blender or a sponge. The moisture that I've got in this sponge is really helpful, I think, for creamy concealers like this. And the thing in this little compact that I love pretty much as much as the creamy concealer is the little setting powder. You'll see I have hit pan on it. Pat myself on the back for that. I'm using my little e.l.f. tapered brush, and we're just going to dab some of that powder right here. Instantly just perfects, mattifies that area. You can pick up a lot with your brush, so kind of tap off some excess there. And then I want to do like just a very light powder all over the skin, just for, you know, I think it helps the staying power out throughout the day. For me, I feel like my skin benefits from even just the lightest amount of powder on top. So I'm going to use some Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. What shade am I in this? Natural Beige. e.l.f. Complexion Brush has been my go-to powder brush lately. And just kind of dab that around as I go over the under eye. I don't really want to be raking it back and forth. as I have painstakingly concealed that area, but just lightly buffing it in down in here. And a light bit on the forehead. Then I'm going to do some bronzing, and I'm going to be using a product I'm very excited about for the bronzing. This is my Makeup Revolution All About Bronzed palette. I think it may have been, oh, it says on the front Ultra Blush palette, but it is a bronzer palette. And this shade right here is a little bit cooler than the rest and maybe a hair deeper. So I like to pick some of that up with my brush. And I mentioned I'm not going to do, you know, super chiseled contour, but I'm just doing, see how that just gives me that little shadow, you know, accentuates that area just a bit. I don't know, I'm just liking the softness. I think it looks a little bit younger in some ways than a really chiseled contour. So then for my forehead area, I'm going to go kind of back and forth between that very sunny, goldeny bronzer and the one I've just been using. These are what I would call, you know, low impact bronzers. They're not gonna make you look too orangey or crazy, but they do warm up the skin nicely. Tan or deep skin, this may not be deep enough for you guys. And then just for a little, you know, added radiance on the face, I'm gonna go to this shade, which does have a little glow. I'm gonna lightly sweep that right on the tops of the cheeks. Across the nose. Next, I'm going to be doing my glowy highlight and then my matte blush. I'm loving layering a matte blush over glowy highlight. I just love the finished effect. This is an Up and Up brush, comes from the Complexion set. If you watched my Up and Up brush video, high five to you. This is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlight in Golden Lights. It looks white, you know, but if I give you a swatch here, you can see there's kind of just a goldeny glow that comes off of it. I am going to take it like top of the cheek where I would apply blush, but I'm also going to work it backward. And if you feel like, wow, that is pretty glowy, ooh, and you're cringing over it, don't worry, because this blush step afterward, I think, really works well. For that, I'm using my Up and Up blush brush, and the blush shade is my Milani Romantic Rose. So, you know, a soft, dusty rose blush is going to be great for this look, not going too loud. And then outer part of the apple of the cheek, you're going to overlap a little bit of the highlight that was on your cheek and kind of sweep it back. Like I think I said in my favorites video, it's still glow, but it just takes the edge off a little bit. For brows, I'm going to be using my new-ish Maybelline Brow Satin. I recently reviewed this on the Express channel. Somebody was asking me on Snapchat last night, what's the difference between your two channels? And the Express channel is the one that is purely reviews. They're all around 5 minutes long, one product at a time. Whereas my videos on this main channel, you know, longer videos, tutorials, talking about lots of products at one time, basically anything else beauty related. And it could be some reviews as well that require a little more explanation or comparison or whatever it may be. This is the free-for-all beauty channel, and that one is just, I like to think of it as your resource. Like, there will be so many products reviewed over there, and they're all categorized into eyes, lips, face, body, beauty tools, brushes, whatever it may be. And you can go there and be like, oh, she mentioned she had a review on this or that, and that's your resource for extra information. When I launched the channel, I was doing videos 5 days a week on there. And after having the baby, I had to scale back a little bit, so I'm doing pretty regularly getting videos up on there 3 days a week. There's also Tie Day Friday, which is Tyler's random review of the week. So I've just taken the pencil side of this and filled in my brows, and then there's a powder end as well. And I'm just going to go over that a little bit. It kind of sets the color. I think it helps maybe overall staying power of this. And then I'm going to use a little Control Freak brow gel just on top of that. Now I'm going to go to eyes. First up, priming the lids. I'm using this NYX Proof It, which actually has served as a really good eye primer for me throughout the summer. It does do a good job of just long wear throughout the day. I'm using this brush. This came from my Morphe set that I got off of Haute Look. See what it looks like? It's like a little couple of cups. They're a little bit shorter brushes, almost seems like a travel set. So I'm trying out a few of these. This is where I would use my Sigma E25 typically. And I'm taking, oops, I forgot to say what shade I'm using. This is the Matte Shadow by NYX. This is the shade Dance the Tides. And this is a very similar color to MAC's Saddle. So if you like that matte, kind of medium, warm brown. First place I popped my brush was the outer part, and I am just blending inward a bit as well. Then I'm just going to blend out over the edges of that with a bare brush. I'm using another NYX matte shadow, and this is in the shade Skinny Dip, and it is a plum. I love the way plum colors look alongside warm browns, so I'm picking some of this up with the little flat brush that came in that set. And I'm going to pat this on the outside of the lid, outer part, and I'm also going to be flipping that brush over and just allowing this to mesh in with that warm brown in the crease. I'm also going to take some of that plum down under the eye with a pencil brush. If I had other pencil and blending brushes that I felt like could do the job well enough, I would use those if I had lower cost ones that I really liked. I'm not saying they're not out there on the market, but these are just my comfort zone. So I just love how nice these matte shades just work with one another. They blend nicely. I'm going to take a little bit of the brown, what was that called? Dance the Tides. Take a little bit of that, and that's going to go under this part. And we may further smoke this out once the lashes get on. Sometimes I decide to, you know, go a little further with the lower eyeshadow look once I put lashes on. Oh, I almost forgot. I am doing a dark waterline as well. I'm using my Milani Supreme Kohl Kajal eyeliner there. I like to kind of take it right in between the lashes as well, and then blend over it. See how that small step really enhanced the smokiness of what we've got going on here? For the lids, I'm going full on green. So I'm using my Milani Shadow Eyes. This is in Green Safari. I know this seems like kind of a lot of products, but it'll pay off. I'm dabbing this all over like the inner 2/3 of my lid. Not really going on top of that purple that we applied, but just apply it from the stick and then dab over it with your finger. That picks up any excess. This is going to really make the shadow I put on top of it pop even further because it's already a pigmented shadow that I'm going to apply, but this also really helps staying power too. My delightful Golden Emerald Infallible Shadow. I love this shade. It's just stunningly beautiful. If you like greens, you've got to get this. This is my Sonia Kashuk small shadow brush. Just begin dabbing this, and you've got this really pretty, just jewel-like emerald glow on the lids. I love it so much. And then as I get out toward that plum, I'm overlapping it, I'm touching it, but I'm not really packing it on at that point. And I may even add a little plum and kind of come back over. But this is just a fun shadow to apply because it just totally translates. You know, it's fun to use those shades that show up so true to color, so exactly what they should be. Here's what else I want to do. Going back with that flat brush and the plum, just dabbing a little bit more of that for some added purpley intensity. This plum shade's not playing around either. It's like, hey, I want to show up too. And then I feel like I need a little more going on right in here. So I'm going to pick up a bit of the plum with this pencil brush and just kind of gently take it right above the green in the crease. This is my no man's land of the eye area. I always kind of struggle with this particular zone, I feel like. I don't know why. I'm going back to the highlight we used on the face, and there's this brush in the set that's kind of fluffy, a little bit angled. I'm just going to apply that right here under the brow. And I also want to place that shade right around the inner corner. So there is this pencil-y brush in the set. It's not quite like fluffy enough to do a lot of typical pencil stuff that I want it to do, but it can go around my inner corner all right. Going ever so slightly up onto my green. Then I'm going to take my Jordana Color Envy liquid liner, just a little bit of black liner across the upper lash line here. Doing just a slight wing at the end here. I'm just going to take a little bit of plum because it's like the deepest shade we're working with. And I'm going to go under my wing. I'm going to curl lashes and apply mascara. The mascara I'm doing today is this Maybelline Chaotic. I'm not wearing it in the funky, like super clumpy method that you can wear it in if you want to. I'm just using it for length and thickness because it can do a pretty decent job of that. CoverGirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant on my lower lashes. Lashes are going to be the Vegas Nay Allure Easy Elegance. So a little bit flared out at the outsides. Revlon Precision Lash Glue, as always. Sorry about my fingernails in this video. If you've caught a close glimpse of those, I'm sorry. Dabbing a little mascara here at the base of the lash. And then this is where I just kind of look over everything and see, you know, are things looking the way I planned? And I've got this nice warm brown coming up above, and I just want more of that on the lower lash line. So again, going back to this shade with the pencil brush and going below the wing. For the lips, I've got some balm on. I'm going to take my Milani Nude Lip Liner. I know I'm always using Spice, but today I'm thinking I want to go nude. Just on the lips. And so I'm just going to apply that here. It's not, you know, like really dull nude. It's got some pink to it. And these Color Statement lip liners are so creamy. Like, I haven't used this shade in a long time, and it's going on like butter. And this is my L'Oreal Extraordinaire Gloss. The shade is Nude Ballet. Love this nude gloss. But I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I feel like there's a tendency toward a lot of natural back-to-school looks this time of year, which I think are great. But also, you know, people have dances, people have more formal things going on, and you might want to use some bargain products for that kind of a look as well. So I really am happy with the way this turned out. I love how the jewel of this eye look, that emerald green, is nicely like encapsulated in all this pretty matte shadow. So thank you so much for taking time out of your days to watch these videos. I really appreciate it, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye!